Welcome to An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade. This time every week we talk about community and we talk about philanthropy and volunteerism, and you are going to get all of that today as we feature one of my favorite organizations in this city, and that is Able2. Their incredible executive director, Heather Lacey, joins me first. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
You know I'm a big champion of Able2, and I just want to say it off the top because some people might say, I've never heard of Able2, but they might have heard of citizen advocacy,
That's right.
and you had a name change, but the bottom line is you're still doing great work.
That's right, yeah. So we did change our name in 2020. You know, again, we've been around for over 50 years. So, you know, we started out different programs, and so the name became not really representative of everything we did, and we thought it was a good time for it. So yes, we decided to do it during the pandemic.
Right.
So,
right.
But yeah, no, it was a really great thing for us to change it. It's nice, it's short, it's modern, it's, you know. So yeah, the whole idea now is just to get people to know who we are, know the services that we offer. Yeah, we're so proud of what we do. So yeah. So
let's take a deep dive.
Yeah, let's do that.
So if I was on an elevator with you going 20 floors up, what would you tell me about Able2?
Able2 is a wonderful charity whose mission it is to ensure that we build inclusive communities. We empower people with disabilities to live their best lives. So the lives that they really want to live. And we do that through the programs that we offer on a day-to-day basis.
And we're going to take a deep dive into programs with one of your colleagues a little bit later. But for those that may not be familiar with some of the programs that I certainly have learned about over the years, and maybe some of the ones that are people more familiar with because maybe they've gone to Evening in the Maritimes, for instance. They might have heard some of those programs, but give us a little taste.
Yeah, so we have the matching program, which, you know, a lot of people are very familiar with because that was certainly the program that kind of started Able2. But we also have a funding brokerage, which helps individuals who receive money from the government. We help them to manage that and, you know, make sure they're within the rules and, you know, and for a lot of people who get that money, a lot of times they have to spend the money before they get the money back. So what we do is we purchase the things they need and then we get reimbursed. So that way they can actually fully take advantage of the funds they're getting. We also have a housing support program, as well as a fetal alcohol resource program that services children and youth between 0 to 18 or 21 if you're still in school, and of course the REACH legal referral program. So with REACH, we amalgamated with REACH in 2023. It was critical, you know, it's a critical program. People can't afford lawyers, and if you're a person with a disability who comes in contact with the law, you can refer yourself to the service and actually get a referral to a lawyer for 3 hours of free legal advice. So, yeah.
And we're going to take a deep dive into that program,
absolutely.
too. You've done a great job today, you and your team, of putting this together. Big shout out to Emilu, who helps us do all of this as well.
She's wonderful.
And does a wonderful job. For someone maybe in the community that has heard about the Match program and thinks, I want to do that, I don't know where to start, but what if the match doesn't work out? Am I the right person to do this? There might be a bit of uncertainty. And the one thing I have heard at every single Evening of the Maritimes that I've ever attended is these beautiful stories of matching. But we also hear that people also had those concerns going in. These are normal things.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you're going into a volunteer situation. You don't always necessarily know everything, but I can tell you, you don't have to have any special skill, any special talent. We provide all the information that you need, any training that you need. That you're supported by a social worker for the first year to 2 years of the match. I can tell you we've had so many successful matches. You've heard about them. 20 years, 25 years. I mean, that says a lot about the support that we give our matches and the volunteers, right? Certainly, you know, you go in, maybe the match doesn't work, but then we try again, right? And so it's, you know, it's not something that you have to be too worried about, right? And we'll take you, you know, if you want to take it slow, we can do that as well. We also have a Match Connect program, which allows connection over social media, by phone. So that sometimes is very helpful to start out as well.
Yeah,
right?
very smart to do that. And you know, before we dive into that beautiful lobster, usually I've had a few tears, tears of joy hearing these stories. And every single time I walk away and I think to myself, that's not a match, that's family. And it's until you've heard those stories, it's hard to kind of understand, but they don't see themselves as matches.
No.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, you know, that's just the thing, right? So, you know, like for people with disabilities, oftentimes the people that surround them are people that are paid to be there. And it's not to say that they're not committed and they're not passionate or compassionate, but it says something when somebody wants to be there because they like you. They really like you, right? And not only does that help the individual with disabilities, but that helps the volunteer as well, right?
For sure.
I mean, it has a huge impact. And there's so many stories we hear about, you know, people going to baptisms, weddings, you know, going to Christmas with families. And like you know, that is something that we nurture and we want to see happen. Like I'd like to see these relationships develop outside of the organization, and we have so many examples of that. And then when you listen to the stories, like the impact of people on their lives, right? So you could be somebody who might be isolated, hasn't gone out of your apartment for 10 years. You have a match, and all of a sudden now they've empowered you to get out of your apartment, you know, to go to a hockey game, to go out for coffee. That is just something that, you know, sometimes a person that's paid to be there can't give you, right? And so it's no wonder these stories make us all cry. Last year at Evening in the Maritimes, oh my goodness, like just the relationships that people develop and the meaning that it brings to both their lives really does have an impact and really does make you think about how lucky we are.
And what I've always noticed is I think people that reach out for the very first time, they think, I'm going to help enrich this person's life. I'm going to give them all these wonderful experiences. I'm going to introduce them to maybe my friends and family, all of that. But every single story, I know you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Every single story, the person, I'm getting teared up thinking about it. The person says, they enriched my life. Like, it's great that we hang out and they seem to get something from it, but no, make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
It is my life that has been enriched.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a true friendship where you both offer something to each other and you learn from each other and you give back to each other. And so we hear that all the time. And I know you know some of our matches personally.
I do.
And so you get to hear those, you know, those stories all the time. But yeah, they have a ton of fun together. I mean, that is just something you cannot buy. You know, I think when people kind of are a little bit reticent to get involved, once they get involved and they see what the impact that individual has on them, they get excited and they want to keep going.
We've had a lot of conversation recently because of what's going on in the world about kindness. This just is just an incredible level of kindness that I think is wonderfully done through Able2. I want to make sure that I say this because I think this is really important. You take a lot of effort to ensure this is a safe match, that there are checks and balances, that everybody is safe in this match. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of having the social workers in place. They do the learning conversations. They help build the profile of our people with disabilities that come to us. They monitor the matches. They help if there's an issue. So we're very careful about how we match people. We do it very intentionally. And then how we make sure that we monitor it and follow up. Because yeah, definitely, you want a safe, secure environment for people, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's how we do that. And yeah, I mean, you can see like that the impact that it has. Like when you're supporting that match, and how successful they've become. We wouldn't have 20-year matches if there wasn't that kind of support in place, right?
Mm-hmm. So, beautifully said. Yeah. Beautifully said. We only have a couple of minutes, Heather,
sure.
But when I think about your leadership role over the last number of years, we see that you are powered by volunteers. You're a small but mighty team. Yes. But I see that there's really an effort to really invite the community in and take this organization to the next level. How can we do that? What's our call to action today? What do you want us to do?
I want you to volunteer. Right now, we have close to 500 volunteers. That's with the matching program, with our REACH legal referral service, and then, of course, with our committees, our boards, our events. Giving your time is just as valuable as giving your money, right? And, of course, we always are looking to ensure that we have donations. Those donations help us to ensure that we can continue to deliver the high-quality service that the staff really believes in. And so my call to action is reach out, contact us. You want to volunteer, if you want to give, or if you just want to have a conversation about what we do, that's good too. And so that would be my call to action.
It's perfect. And I keep thinking time, talent, treasure in terms of Able2, right? You're ticking all of those boxes. If you want to give of your time, you can give of your time for a short amount of time. You can give your talents. There's lots of different ways to get involved and obviously share those talents with the people at Able2. And then, of course, that donation piece. And as you know, I was born a fundraiser, Heather, so I can't stop myself. But really encouraging people to not only participate in the wonderful events you do, but also those philanthropic gifts throughout the year, a monthly donor, etc.
That's correct. Yeah, we encourage people to give even a small amount, like a $10 donation monthly or a $10 donation a couple times a year. That helps, right? I know it's been very difficult for people. The economy is not stellar. We all have to worry about where our dollars are going. So, just even like I said, a $10 donation, a $5 donation, it all makes a difference. It all really helps us to ensure that we can continue to make an impact in the community.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Heather Lacey, of course, joining us from Able2, sharing her thoughts as we kick off an hour to give today, featuring Able2. When we come back, you're going to learn more. Stay right where you are.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Businesses in the city of Ottawa continue to recover from the effects of the COVID pandemic shutdown, which is fast approaching its 6-year anniversary.
The city core once had tens of thousands of employees coming every day, using transit and supporting the businesses that emerged to serve them, driving over 20% of our citywide tax base. That all changed overnight.
So the Ottawa Board of Trade put together a forum to address the city's major challenges and take action on developing the downtown core. Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe also presented a plan to revitalize the Byward Market to help commemorate the city's bicentennial.
This action plan provides clear and specific steps to build on the history of the Byward Market, to restore the market to its vital place as the heart of our city. and to revitalize the market for an even more exciting future. It's about ensuring the market is a welcoming and vibrant space that meets the needs of everyone.
Building a downtown that is safe, vibrant, and nationally competitive were just a few of the topics of the forum. You can hear more about the forum on a future episode of Podium. For Rogers TV Community News, I'm Mike James.
You're invited to Evening in the Maritimes to benefit Able2, happening on May 14th. You can learn all about it on the next Hour to Give with me, Sam Laprade. What happens when somebody with a disability, the person with a disability, has a legal issue? What do? Well, they may reach out to Able2. We want to discuss this today with Frank McNally and Scott Mainprez. Hello, gentlemen. How are you? Great to have you here.
Good afternoon.
And Frank, what's your history with REACH, for instance? We know that REACH and Able2 merged together in 2023. And what's your history?
Well, when I was a law student over 20 years ago, back in University of Ottawa, I was looking for a way to give back. So I came upon REACH Canada because REACH uses, and Scott's going to talk more about this, but we use law students to partner with lawyers to provide pro bono legal services. So I started that, and then I eventually joined the board, and then I've been with REACH for many years. And basically, REACH was founded in 1970. It was a lawyer named Ernie Tanis. Had a lifelong friendship with a gentleman named Rod Carpenter. Rod was born with cerebral palsy. He had difficulty walking, he could barely talk, and he couldn't use his hands. So Ernie and during the course of their discussions, Rod was looking to open a business after he graduated university. And one of the struggles he had was he wasn't able to sign his own checks because there weren't accommodations for people with disabilities at that time in the financial system. So he spoke to Ernie about it. Ernie had just graduated from law school. So Ernie banded up a group of lawyers, and they figured out a way in order to change the system so that Rod can sign his own checks through fingerprints or stamps. So through legal research with a law student in Ernie's law firm, they advocated with banks because they found there was a loophole in the Bank Act where it wasn't explicit what a signature was. So through the advocacy, they were able to get the bank to change their systems. And that was the start of REACH. Because what Ernie and the lawyers realized is you can advocate to make the change for people with disabilities, a real meaningful difference. Because Rod then had financial independence, he had dignity, and that was the start of REACH, and that was the first case. And since that got publicity, banks further made changes to the system, and then more lawyers heard about it and ended up starting a roster of pro bono legal services that Scott's going to talk about.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that history. That history is fascinating. And it always starts with one, doesn't it? So what's your involvement, Scott?
So I'm very new to the program, but as Frank said, Frank and Ernie are great testaments to the legal professionals that become involved with the program, really stay committed to the program for their entire career. So I'm the current manager of the program, and as Frank was saying, we have a roster of over 200 legal professionals that volunteer their time to meet with community members when they are touched by the justice system. And it's so hard when somebody's touched by the justice system to know where to go, right? And by coming to the REACH program and getting matched to a legal professional, you're able to be connected to somebody who knows the context and can give you that direction on how to take things.
And thank you for that. I appreciate that. And Frank, I want to touch on something that you mentioned, and that was the word dignity. There's a lot of dignity about being able to work through your own legal dealings, right? What's the history for you? Why did you get involved?
Well, I'm hard of hearing myself. So I basically, part of what I do, because I'm a personal injury lawyer, okay? Part of what I do is I understand that people with disabilities may have struggles. A lot of them have mental health issues. So I wanted to find an organization that allowed me to give back to people with disabilities, because I definitely empathize with them, and I could use my skill set to help them navigate the legal system, help them fight for their rights, and ensure that that their needs are somehow met through the legal system. So one of the things that you're going to get by supporting the Reach Legal program is you have a roster of lawyers who are sensitive to people with disabilities. If you miss an appointment, it's okay. We understand. If you don't provide a document in time, that's okay. We're here to support you. We'll go that extra mile for you, because we understand that you may have some burdens that other people may not. So we want to lift that and empower you through offering these free legal services.
And it's just another example of Able2 breaking down those barriers for that quality of life that we talked about at the top with Heather. Scott, talk to me a little bit about how many people sort of use the service in a year. Give me some idea of who's using the service.
Certainly. So last year alone, there were over 200 people that were connected to the program, either connected to a legal professional like Frank or to a community program that could support them on their legal journey. And the way to contact us is online, by phone, through email. And once somebody does connect with our program, we don't give the legal service ourselves. We're making that consultation, but they'll speak to a law student, and we have a network of law students now from growing across Canada and Turtle Island almost. Now we've got students from University of Ottawa, Dalhousie, and Toronto Metropolitan University. So somebody will speak to the law students, they'll find out, they'll share their story in a safe way, and then the law students will work with our roster and our database to try and match somebody to the appropriate legal professional.
Amazing. Do you think, in your opinion, you're a lawyer, do you think, in your opinion, that this experience for law students makes them a better lawyer?
Oh, for sure. I think one of the things that often is missing in law schools is to be able to have client contact, And when you join a program like Reach, you get to see all sorts of different people deal with all sorts of problems. And that could point you in a certain direction in your career, And that's certainly what happened to me, and that's why I ended up doing personal injury law, because most of the clients I deal with, they all have disabilities. A lot of them have mental health problems. So the experience that I took from Reach really informed my career. I know that's the same with our 200+ lawyers that we have on our roster. And I know you talked earlier about the matching program, but the legal referral service gives back a lot to lawyers too. We know we're assisting people in a great need. They don't have financial, and there's all sorts of legal issues that we're assisting them. So I've gained a lot through volunteering with Reach.
It's amazing. It's wonderful. And you've got so many people that are connected. I love the fact that this is going across the country as well in terms of law students. If someone is listening, watching us right now, and maybe they're a person with disabilities that is looking for some help, are they literally reaching out to you? Is that how this works?
Yes, anybody in the Ottawa or Champlain regions, regardless of what type of legal issue you're dealing with. We don't have any legal restrictions on the scope, they should reach out to us, again, through our online form or by phone or email, and then we'll start that process with them.
And, you know, I'll just speak for myself. Anything to do with anything legal, I get nervous, right? Even if I've got nothing to worry about, I think, oh my gosh, like, you know, I don't know everything I need to know, and I had to have someone that I can trust. This is a very trust-based relationship. Talk to me a little bit about how important that is.
Well, that's why, you know, like, when someone comes to a lawyer, most of the time they're very nervous. They're uncertain of what to do. So speaking to a lawyer that's on a roster with REACH, we're going to try our best to put you at ease. Look, we'll handle things, okay? We know, and we might not know, like, for example, one of the good things with REACH, because REACH is Ottawa-based, okay? So we partnership with all sorts of community organizations. This might not be a legal issue, per se. Okay, then we will direct you to the appropriate community service organization, and that we're going to guide you through the process. We may not assist you through the entire end of a case, but we will give you the knowledge to be able to guide you in the right direction and provide you the necessary legal services so that you know what the next steps are if needed. And a lot of times that's all you need, because a lot of people may not know what the rights are, what the duty to accommodate, and this is what they're going to get through the REACH Legal Service Program.
And I may be making an assumption here, and so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think sometimes, this is just human nature, is there's a legal issue or something that's maybe got some confrontation, and we avoid it, as opposed to we just kind of maybe stick the letters in a folder, we don't look at them. Is that common? And when people find this program, are they relieved?
Well, I think, as you said, anything that's new is scary, and especially the justice system and legal issues are so new and overwhelming for people, I think. And so, and it's always hard to find a place to start. And so at least what the REACH Legal program can do is give you a pathway for how to start to navigate that, and can start to give some clarity in what can always be a challenging journey.
We only have about 30 seconds. What would you say to people that help this program?
What we need is basically support, so that, because we have growing demand within the city for referrals. So, if you support this program, what you're going to get is helping us outreach to more lawyers to join our roster, allowing us to amplify our message so that we can do further legal education seminars, and that add more law students to help with the demand.
Beautifully said. Thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate it very much. I would feel at ease with both of you. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Speaking about one of the wonderful programs at Able2, an organization I'm very passionate about, we're going to learn about more programs at Able2 and maybe how you can get involved here on An Hour to Give.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Hello, your cell phone. How can I help?
Adults I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please help me?
And we're back on An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade. We're talking all about Able2 today. Their website, of course, is Able2, the number 2, .org. So you'll want to visit them to learn all about the wonderful events they have, ways that you can give back, about all of the amazing programs. And Thony Jean-Baptiste joins me now. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. And you, how are you?
I'm fantastic because I always get inspired by all of you at Able2. You always make me want to cheer even louder for an organization that I have followed for so many years. And you've continued to grow your programs as the needs of the community grows. We've talked a little bit about the match program with Heather. We talked a little bit about the Legal Reach program a minute ago, of course, with Frank and with Scott. We've got other programs. Give us a sense of some of the other programs you've got.
First of all, thank you very much for having me, Sam. And it's a real pleasure to be with you and to share a bit about our programs and then what we are doing in the community. And in fact, we have several programs. It's not just the matching program. It's not just Reach Legal Referral Services. But with the time, we realized, okay, there are so many things going on in the community. And then when people with disability, they come to us, we've seen that they have so many needs. And then we said, okay, now I think we have to implement a few other programs in order to help them, to empower them and then their families also. In that way, so for instance, we have the funding brokerage program where we work with people to help them to manage their passport funding. Because something simple for somebody like who don't have a disability or who don't really have a fixed income is to be able to spend money that they receive from their funding and then to do things that they want to do. But the fact is, when somebody lives with fixed income, it's not really possible for them. So in that way, so what we do, we intervene and then we help them, to kind of to select exactly what kind of activities they want to do in the community, what kind of services they want to participate in, and then now we help them with that, and then we purchase that service for them, and then for them, they know the only thing they have to do now is just to make sure that they go, they enjoy the activities, like something simple, for instance, somebody would like to go to see a movie, but in order to go to see the movie, depending on the disability that they have also, sometimes they may need to have somebody also with them to accompany them, but which means they need to have money for that. If they don't have money, and then now they come to us, and then what we do, we will purchase that ticket for them, and then they will go, and then they will just enjoy the movie. And then the same thing also happen if they want to go to see like a hockey game, whatever they want to do. And then some people also, they would like to go to travel, they will go to Montreal or to do things that, just to make them participate in their community, and then we help them in that way.
They're living their best life, right?
Exactly, exactly. So that's what we do. That's one of the programs which called like funding brokerage, but we also have other programs too. We have the housing support program where we work with people living with developmental disability. Those people, they are referred to us to DSO-ER, which is the Developmental Service of Ontario, and then when they are referred to us, we have a social worker now who will take the time to get to know them, to know exactly what they are looking for, where they would like to move, because those individuals, they have been living with their families or with their caregiver all their life, and then now they are at a point in their life where they would like to move on their own. In order to do that, they need to have support. They need to develop some skills also, because if someone was living with their family all their life, people were taking care of them. Now, when the time comes for them to move on their own, which means now there are some conditions they need to be able to understand. They need to know exactly, okay, what kind of service are available in the community for them. And then that's when our social worker will come, and then to help them, to accompany them, and then to make them feel, okay, what they want to realize, this is something that is achievable. And then the social worker will work with them and then help them to move on their own. And then when they move now, they feel okay now. They get some kind of a decision on what they want to do in their life. Like things that anybody, like you, like me, we will find that we take for granted. Like just being able to decide what to do in our day. They can do that now because they have that capacity. And then also, some of them also, because they used to live all their time with their caregiver of their families, and then now, you know, they have understand also what it means to live on their own. They have developed some kind of skill. So we have a lot of programs like that. So.
Wonderful. And I just think about a program like that, particularly with all of the challenge regarding housing right now, not just here in Ottawa, but globally, to be honest with you, and particularly in this country. So having that extra help obviously is really, really important. And another program that really interests me, I've done a lot of work in regards to fetal alcohol and the program that you have in regards to that. Walk me through some of the benefits of that program.
Yeah, so this is a program where we partner with CHIO in order to implement that kind of program. What we will do now, we help family who have children or who are suspected or living with FASD. And then those people, we are helping them, you know, in terms of service navigation, because that could be very hard for somebody to have a diagnostic or to find a diagnostic and then to find the service also that they need in their community. And then with the people who work in that program now, they not only they go out there, they do education to people. They give information about what people need to do, what family needs to do whenever they have somebody in their life who are suspected or affected by FASD. But also they go also to school board, and then they will do training also for people. And then one of the things also that happen most of the time also with people living with FASD is the fact that, you know, sometimes they are really well known in the justice system, because sometimes it could be difficult for them to understand exactly the impact of what they are doing or the consequences of their actions. And then that's why some other time you will see that there are a lot of those people who might be in jail, but they don't even understand exactly why they are there. And then once you put them out there, maybe what they did, they will do exactly the same thing because they don't understand exactly the reality of why they are there. So that's why now, in our program now, we are doing education for people who are involved in the justice system. It could be police officer, it could be lawyer, it could be anyone who are involved in that system, and then so they can understand, okay, there should be another approach to take towards somebody living with FASD, because sometimes they may not understand quickly the consequences of their actions. And then now to have that kind of approach with them to help them, and then also to give them the support they need also in order to be successful in their community like anybody else too.
Right. And when I think as well, you know, in terms of all of the programs, this is many cases there's lots of different funders involved, but donor support really helps these programs. Give me a sense of what you would say to someone that's donating to Able2, and give me that thank you that you want to share with the community for all the great things that people do to give back.
So I think people cannot really realize the impact they are having on their community when they donate to Able2, because what we receive from people, we put it directly in our program, and then that can help family, first of all, to get more support, help people living with disability also to be able to live the life that they would like to live, and then also to help us also to have the staff we need in order to be with those individuals, to get to know the community, to get to know what their challenges are, and then also to be able to support them the way they want to be supported. So by donating to Able2, that's something that, you know, the community will really help us to do.
Your passion shows through beautifully. Why do you do this work?
I think it's not just a work. It's kind of more than doing your work, because once you are able to see the impact of what you are doing on people's lives, especially people who have live with some kind of vulnerability, you see how much, you know, you help them, and then the way they appreciate what you do, and then also the way also you can see somebody coming from a point A to to go to a point B, the way they progress in their life, just because that they have the support we offer to them. So that kind of tell you, oh my God, what I'm doing, it's not just a work, it's not just a job, but it's also something that is impacting people's real life. And then you can see the difference also in people's life. And then it's not like and then I know you already talked about the matching program, for instance, but even like in the matching program, like when you take a volunteer, you talk to them, you ask them, okay, what happened? Why do you do that? What do you learn from what you are doing with your match? And then they will tell you, oh, yeah, I thought in the beginning that I was going to save that person, or I was going to do something just to have a big impact, but I think I'm the one who is really more touched in that kind of relationship. So when you hear that from people in the community, and then at the same time also, when you see the impact also that we are having on people with disability also, we see that, okay, this is something that is really worth doing, worth working on.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much good in this community, and we've talked about Evening in the Maritimes. We're going to speak with Michael Lifshitz in a second to talk more about that. But I find that evening is when, if someone has never gone to that event, you can almost see the light bulb go off in terms of the impact of Able2. Able2.org, so able with the number 2.org is where all of this great information is regarding your programs, regarding that volunteer opportunity for people to get involved. We only have about 20 seconds, but what do you want to say about heading to the website?
So I think what I will say to people, you don't have to be a lawyer, you don't really have to be a social worker to participate in the great work we are doing for the community. Anyone can volunteer, or you can help also, even, just to share the word, or you can come to celebrate with us at Evening in the Maritime, which is a big celebration also. That's a big gala fundraising to raise money for the program we have in
and
the
you've
community.
got a big milestone coming up this year, 30 years.
30 years,
yeah, thanks so much for joining us.
I haven't been there for 30 years, but...
Yes, exactly. It feels like I have been, but thanks so much for joining us. Of course, Able2, an organization that does incredible good in this community. We're going to get a chance to chat with a funny guy. He's my friend. His name's Michael Lifshitz. He's going to come back and talk all about Evening in the Maritimes on An Hour to Give.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome to Ottawa in the Know. I'm Julie Finley. I'm happy to be here to show you everything from bike trails to kitchen tales and all the things in between that make Ottawa so great.
I just love it when I get to have my friends on the show, and my friend Michael Lifshitz is here. Hello, Michael. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
We meet again.
We do.
We meet again. We meet a few times a year, and sometimes we have some funny chats because you're a funny guy.
I try to be.
Yes.
I try to be.
Can I tell everyone? I'm going to tell everyone.
Okay, go for it.
Michael's a comedian. He does a great job, and you do a wonderful job. You have so many roles in this community, and of course, we're talking all about Able2 today. And Able2 is an organization that I've loved for many, many years. And when I saw you being piped in as the honorary chair at Evening at the Maritimes for a number of years now, I cheer so loud on the sidelines there, and it's just, you just look so happy that night.
I appreciate it. Well, it's kind of fun to be escorted in with bagpipes.
I know.
It's always a letdown the next day. I'm moving around, and there's like no background music. This is a little anticlimactic.
No kidding.
It's kind of it's all part of the fun atmosphere we have at Evening in the Maritimes. Of that East Coast vibe.
Yeah.
That it's an immersive experience, and the bagpipe, the fiddler player. It just adds to the ambiance. Right?
It's so good. And honestly, there is not a better organized event in this city. Now, you know, I'm out every night at something. And I never want to miss Evening in the Maritimes because, one, I love lobster. That's not the number one reason. I love you guys. But, you know, it's so beautifully organized. So it's a beautiful, unique event. Everyone gets this beautiful lobster. And for those that don't eat lobster, there's other alternatives, which I immediately defriend all those people that don't eat lobster. But anyway, I'm just teasing. We get to all wear our little bibs. And the evening is so perfectly done from A to Z. There's just, it's perfection every year.
Honestly, I'm floored every year by the team and what they do to put it on. My first year, so this is my third year as the honorary chair, and my first year, I was actually disappointed that I never had heard about the event before, because I'm like, oh my God, I've been missing out. I came off the elevator and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the Maritimes. Like, it is such an immersive experience, and it's just so phenomenally well done. Like, you almost feel like you're on the dock.
It's so true. You even have a lighthouse, which is brilliant. There's all those sounds and everything that makes it sound very East Coast-like that you mentioned. And you divide this giant room into provinces. I think I've sat in New Brunswick a couple of years. But I love the fact that this is a fully immersive event. I always see, 250 people I know, but there's about 800 people that attend. Am I right on those numbers?
I think it's about 500.
Okay, it feels a lot bigger than that, but it's great. I mean, it's a wonderful night.
Yeah, it's very well attended, and it always warms my heart because having a disability, sometimes you feel like, people don't really care or people don't understand. So to see community leaders come out, having a good time, but supporting such a wonderful cause is really heartwarming for me when I look at it from the stage and I see this room full of business people. And it's really quite cute seeing them with their bibs.
Exactly. You see all these, all these people in the community you normally would never see with a bib on, right?
Right, exactly.
You brought a sea creature with you. Tell me all about it.
So this is my little friend Pinchy.
Yeah.
This was my first year at the sea creature, and our viewers could actually have a sea creature of their own if they come to their event. And so this year the sea creatures will be a 50-50 draw.
Right.
So when you buy your 50-50 tickets, you also get a little sea creature.
Right.
Which is a little fun thing you can have, and I think it really adds that je ne sais quoi to the tie clip.
For sure.
The tie clip is boring.
But people wear them proudly that night. Like everyone's wearing them. Everyone gets right into it. The money's raised that night, Michael. Make no mistake about it. This is a fun night, very well organized. I can't even talk about how perfectly timed everything is. But the bottom line is, the event is about raising essential dollars heading into your 30th year this year. How important are the dollars?
They are critical. I mean, we've been hearing about Heather and Tony and the Reach folks talking about the programs. That's where the money goes. That's how Able2 is able to offer this support in our community. The money that we raise all goes back into the programs to support the folks who need it. So yeah, these are critical funds.
Now, this event sells out every single year, right? But leading up to it, we want to make sure we have that sellout. So we're chatting about this today. May 14th, I have it circled on my calendar with a big giant red circle because I don't want to miss the event, one. But we don't want anybody to miss it this year. So give us a sense of how we're reaching out if we want to maybe purchase a table, be a sponsor, all of those good things.
If you go to the Able2 website and look at the Evening in the Maritimes page, there is a link to buy tickets. You can buy individual tickets at $3.45, or the tables are $33.95. And the nice thing is, if you want to buy a table, you can buy a table and then come back later to fill in the name of your guests. So you don't need to realistically, it's hard to,
Yeah.
it's a little bit like herding cats, right?
Right.
To get everyone lined up.
True.
So you can buy the table, lock in your table, and then let us know about your guests later on so that we have the details about what meals they want and all those good details.
Now, talking about details, so I know we've talked about the lobster. There's always a nice little starter. I think I had clam chowder last year. And then, of course, beautiful lobster. And then the desserts are done family style, which I love. All these little desserts come. And seeing, to your point about people wearing bibs, seeing, you know, well, what do you want? Do you want the blueberry tart? Do you want the strawberry shortcake or whatever it is? It's just a wonderful, the way it's presented, the way that you see community come together for Able2 that night. Does it bring a tear to your eye?
Absolutely. I think it's lovely to see the community come together. The other thing that is part of the evening, and I know it was mentioned before, the Dockside Chat, where we have the matching program, and we hear from an ally and participant who have had a match. I can actually say that because of the Dockside Chat, I actually became a ally and have a match now. So I'm like, okay, this is something I got to get involved in. And honestly, it's a wonderful program and a lot of fun. So I think it is touching to see the impact. I've always said it's great to give charity, but when you can actually hear the impact your dollars have and hear the story about someone's life being made better because of your actions, it's that much more meaningful.
Every story I've heard at Evening in the Maritimes is a combination of laughter, because somebody tells a funny story about something that happened, but also it's so joyous, and there's tears, and it's connection. There's always these wonderful chats, and I know our friends Patricia Bowl and Graham Richardson have done those interviews in the past, and I know them both personally, and they always walk away and they do thousands of interviews. Those impact them so much, Michael. I can't say enough about hearing those interviews firsthand and what that does to my heart every single year. You can never look over at me because I'm usually crying.
Absolutely. Okay,
out of joy, though.
I know, thank you for the warning.
Yeah.
Don't look at her because then I'm going to start crying.
Exactly.
And we're just going to be a big mess.
Yeah.
But it is very touching to hear the impact on both sides. Like as Heather was saying before, it's meaningful for both the ally and the friend, that relationship. It has an impact on both people.
For sure. May 14th, where are you going to be?
Oh, I'm 100% at Evening in the Maritime.
For sure. Well, I'll see you there.
Without a question.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone else, we'll see everyone. We'll fill up the hallway. We'll cram in extra people.
We'll get everybody there.
It'll be a party.
I can't believe how many people I see, and I only see them at that event every year. Like it's a must go to for their teams. I know sometimes it's the law firms or accountant firms, but sometimes it's people will buy some tickets and go as friends. I've seen every combination at that event. It's so wonderful.
It's a opportunity. I have a friend of mine who is one of our annual get-togethers to keep in touch.
Yeah.
He comes and we meet at Evening in the Maritimes. There's something over lobster and some good clam chowder. You were right, by the way, it is clam chowder. I was very excited about the clam chowder. Delicious clam chowder. And like you said, there are options if you can have seafood. There are other dietary options. And you're guaranteed a wonderful meal, a great time, some laughs, some tears, and you can go home feeling good that you've done something good for your community. It's, be it a corporate environment, like you said, of having clients, or what a great way to thank your team. I was talking to an accountant friend of mine. I'm like, end of tax season, man. Like, what a way to reward the team after a busy tax season with lobster.
Love that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Michael, it's been such an honor to spend time with you. And normally I see you on stage, and sometimes we're on stage together because I'm trying to be funny, but not as funny as you. And
You had your moments. I think you're being too hard on yourself. You are quite funny.
Oh, you're very sweet. It's a pleasure always. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope we've inspired you today to look up Able2, able2.org, head to Evening in the Maritimes, volunteer, get involved, give back, and support these wonderful people at Able2. It's been my pleasure to join you here on An Hour to Give.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Well, the OCSB believes in deep learning, that students learn best when they're engaged in their learning. So we have a social entrepreneurship that 50 teachers across our board are participating in. Our focus this year as a board is critical thinking, and through this program, we are able to drive global competencies and increase students' awareness of our charities within our community, and we're having fun doing it.
We looked at all the SDGs, and we decided as a group that goal number 6, clean water, would be something we should focus our attention to. After some careful consideration, we decided that our charity partner should be the Ottawa River Keepers. We've learned so much on how to keep the Ottawa River clean while having fun.
We chose the business name Endless Ripples for our company because we felt that the ripple effect symbolizes our endless opportunities that we have to help in our community. Our slogan is one drop at a time, and that symbolizes that a little can always go a long way.
Our grade 6 family of 55 students collaborates weekly through advertisements, podcasts, posters, and newsletters. We host pop-up shops in the front office to sell our products to the school community. It's been a really positive experience so far, and some of us have gotten better friendships and stronger skills. We sell earrings, affirmation bracelets, cards, and We Candle.
We Candle is a company based in Toronto whose main focus is to grant employment to people with different learning abilities and who usually face barriers in the workplace. Skills Council Canada generously supports this business by purchasing 100 candles, which were then given to the OCSB Experiential Learning Department in the hope that they'd be used by a school in their social entrepreneurship projects. Endless Ripples jumped on the opportunity to get those candles onto our product line. But then we thought we should give back to the same community that made the candles. So as a business, we decided that Silver Spring Studios would be the perfect second charitable option to donate to. So then we drafted a generous check of $1,000 to make it so they could keep their program going.
We had the 48th edition of Winterlude. We just wrapped up the third weekend, and wow, are we ever proud of what we delivered. We know that there was so many people that came through both of our official sites. I know that there was a lot of tourists in town. I've heard from the Hotel Association here that the hotels were booked solid throughout all of Winterlude. Makes my heart so happy to know that we're helping the local economy. The turnout was just amazing of festival goers. There was people here every weekend. This entire park was packed. We had so many different activities for folks to come out and celebrate. It was a huge success.